Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So I recorded about 2 hours the tutorial, and then after the recording I realized that I had my microphone was not activated. So let's do this again. But we do something again from Arben Vllasaliu, and today we will make this duct tape animation here. But the sound design will come to this wave here. Really nice. And yeah, we will try this. And this will be a 2-part tutorial. Let's see how far we come. But first I will do the whole animation. So this rotating, this ribbon here, this rotating of this guy, this rotating of this guy. Then the spring becomes longer and shorter, and the spring cover here. So, and then the second part we will do the camera animation and the texturing. I will texture this in Octane, but because the texture is not a big deal here. So, but let's see how far we come now, and then let's see what I textured in the second part. Okay, yeah, I did this already. I did a fun thing out of this, something like this here. So this, and this, of course, you can do something like this as well later on. This is just if people are in worry or something else, they can watch this and calm down. So I have it here as well, I think so, and here you see. And this project file is already on Patreon, so you can download this project file but just for Octane, and there will be a physical render download as well, but I don't know if I make it in the tutorial. So this is, and the physical render project file will be online when the tutorial is done. So, okay, let's start. And I will do a thing like this. I will make it with a toilet paper roll. Why not, instead of the duct tape? Good. And let's start. First things first. We need a toilet paper roll. Make a tube and bring it to press C. And let's try to make some almost real life measurements. So the outer radius about 10 centimeter, and it's easy to calculate with 10 centimeter. The inner radius is 4. The height will be about 20. Here I don't need nothing, and give it 100 subdivisions, so I don't need a subdivision surface. So this could be the size of a toilet paper thing. Good. Nice. Let's save this. I already should have a toilet paper loop. Yes, this is. Yeah, I go over this. Yes. This was from the tutorial before. Good. Now I need a second one of this guy. So I copy this tube, Control, drag it down, and I want the second one about 1/5 of the size of this one. We could go here in the coordinates and make here 0.2, 0.2, but this can give us some troubles later on. So I simply go here with the inner radius, divide it by 5, boing. Here divided by 5, doing, and that's it. We have it. So, and we don't need this many, but for now it's okay. So I bring both on the floor. I go to the tubes and drag the floor. That is small plugin you will find on my website, and the link to my website you will find in the description. So, and now I go to my, let's name this tube big, and the other one is, you will guess it, small. Okay, direct, I'll make here an H, I want so I can see the lines, drag this to the side, and about, it does not have to be very precise here, so something like next to this. And I don't need as many, I don't want to see here the, let's make it like this. I don't want so many segments for the small one, let's get here, 20. That's okay, so the distance here is about the distance here, so this is not to be perfect. So good. Now I copy these two things here, control drag it down and make these two editable. See on the keyboard, wünsche. I do this because I want to make draw a spline here. So with both tubes selected, I go to the edge mode, and with UM is the path selection. I drag simply with left mouse click, I hold my mouse button to here, and let's go to maybe one more here, and then I continue here until the ground level here, but one more. So yeah, this could work. And now I need my selection to edge, as an edge to spline thing here. I have it in my toolbar. If you don't have it in the toolbar, go to Mesh, Conversions, Edge to Spline. And this will give us a spline under our tube. So I take these two splines and I can delete these guys here, so I don't need them anymore. Now I have these two splines. Let's hide these two guys here. See, we have the splines. Go in point mode. I want to make one spline out of this, and so I select both and connect object and delete. You can right click on it, or I have it here in my toolbar, connect object and delete, makes one spline. And now I want to connect these 2 points here. So join segment, and I have one nice spline here. Exactly what I want. And I want that this spline begins here, so the white part should be here and the blue part on this side. So I select nothing, right click, point order, reverse sequence. Exactly what I want. Now I want the last point here, the same level like this point, so I go to this. Y is -6 here, okay, then I go to this one and -6 as well. Because so now I can nicely extend our spline here, because we need it a little longer. So okay, oops, good, so far so good. But the spline is a little tricky, and what I want the spline uniform subdivided, so not like this. So I go to here, go to uniform, don't need as many. Maybe one, but this is a series, okay. And you see nothing changes here. But when I go to the tube and say current state to object, you can right click on it, or I have it here, and delete the original one. And you will see this new one has exactly this uniform segmentation what I want. And I want this a little smoother, so let's go to uniform here with no things, and we go here to Bezier, and that looks quite nice. We have a smooth, nice spline. Good so far. Now you see this, the axis of the spline is not in the center of the spline, but we need this. So I have here my magic center, and when I click on it, check it, you see the axis is now in the center of the spline, but it's not on the Z. If you don't have the magic center, you can download it. You will find the link in the description on my website, or you simply use this axis tool here, the axis center tool, which you will find here under axis center. Okay, let's see. Then we have this. Why doesn't it Diesmal? give it simply more subdivisions, and it's nice. Good, and I want my spline on C0, so that's exactly what I want. Save it, and this should nicely work with, you see, the spline is exact around this thing what we need. Okay, next step, we want a ribbon out of this spline. So the first thing is that the animation can work so that the rotation and everything fits together. The ribbon should be as long as the circumference of this tube here, of the big tube, or twice that. But we need the circumference of this tube, which is quite easy. We learned it at school. Yeah, we learned it at school. Blah blah. So we know the circumference is twice the radius times p. So that means in this case 20 times p. Okay, let's remember this later, and let's go to our plane here. T for scale. Scale it down, so I'll make it ribbon exactly the 20 we had here. So this is the correct one, 20 here. We don't need any segments here. This what you see here, this is just a spline and not a segment. And here in the width we need 20 times p times, and just write in p. Okay. This is now exactly the circumference of this tube. Good. Make here lots of. Now we need a spline wrapper, because I want to wrap the plane along our spline here. So I go to my plane, I bring it down here, and go to spline wrap, shift click on it, because I have selected already the plane, and so with the shift click the spline wrap becomes a child of the plane. And the spline is of course this guy here. Looks a little weird, but when we go to the rotation and give it an up vector of 1 here, that works great. But it's a little short for animation, I think, so let's make this twice the length. First thing, I don't want that it fits to the spline. I want to keep the length, you see? So I want this now times 2. Times 2. Okay, this will work. So we can hide our spline wrap here. And let's make the ribbon, I name it ribbon, and make it a little thicker. So you can use for this the cloth generator, something else. I like to use the pie extruder here from the Maxon Labs. Link on my website. It's some free plugins from Maxon. I really like them, so I often use them. So the ribbon, and this is a generator, we see the green one. So I click my Alt key, and it's above it, that's perfect. And you see it's a little 2. Let's go to 0.2 maybe. And we have some nice thickness here. Maybe it was too thick, but it is, we can change it. Because we make here, we have quite parametric, quite workflow here, so we could change almost everything later on. So what I see is that this small guy here intersects. This is not what I want, so I go to my small tube, give it here more rotation segments, 50, and I want to give the plane here more segments too. So we don't have a lot of objects in this scene, so we can play with the segments. We can use lots of them. So whoop, let's see. So now it's nice and round. 300 is nice. Go to my small tube, E for the move tool, and move this guy a little. So, okay, maybe we make him a little smaller. We have the inner radius, the outer radius of 2, so let's make it 1.9 maybe. try to fit it in this curve here. Maybe make it even a little smaller. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. And I don't want to make this small one so high. So good. The next step is to try it that everything rotates and moves and does everything we want. So I save it, and for this test things I use a normal C4D texture, very simple one. So I double click in my material manager here, double click on this. I don't need nothing but the color, and go to surface, checkerboard. This is what we need. So this is the ribbon first. Good. Drag it on our ribbon. Name this ribbon too. And go to here and switch. Here, let's say 1. And here, I go above here, and I want to see the texture here, so I go to display, go shading lines. So, and I want here something like quartz here. So let's go up here or down here. 6.5. That looks okay for me here. That looks okay. Good. And we did it often, meanwhile, so NA is to hide the lines. We don't animate the ribbon itself, we just animate the texture. So I go to my texture tag here, and you see, we just animate this guy here. This is perfect. So yeah, let's give us some more frames. Let's say 200 frames. And on frame 0, I make a keyframe. Go to frame 200. I make a frame 100% and make a keyframe. So we should have a nice movement here. Good. I like this. You see here one little thing. This step, of course, when we see this, the ribbon has a little thickness, and this is this one. If we bring our camera to a position like this, we won't really see it, but let's fix this. I go to my spline here, where the plane is wrapped around, go into point mode. And now with MI, I take the magnet tool, you see it? Double click, middle click on your mouse, and then if you drag left and right, you can change the size here. And I want here that it works only in the x-axis, not on y, and please not on z. And now I try to drag this part of the spline a little in the x-axis, a little to this side. So we get a nice transition here. And because we work just in the x-axis, it should work on every part, but here is here. Yeah, that's okay. Good, this is done. So now we don't see it from here. When it's textured, we don't see anything. Save. If you cannot move your spline for any reason, just go to the point mode and select all the points. So it's Control A. So let's see. I had this. Now with Control A, you can select the points, and when the points are selected, you can for sure move the points with the magnet tool. Good. Save again. So now let's give a texture on our big roll here. And so I copy this one. This is tube big Okay, and I drag it on tube big. This is not the correct mapping, so let's go to the thing here. Then take a cylindrical mapping. We see, okay, this is wrong. We have to rotate the texture 90 degrees. We can do this in the tag here, in the coordinates of the tag. When I say here minus 90, it should work. Or you can go here in the texture mode. You see here how the cylinder stands here. So you can go now in the R in the texture mode and rotate it here 90 degrees. That's the same. Now you should see here we are on minus 90 here. So now I make a fit to object here. This is not necessary, but I do it. And you see we are aligned here and here. It's almost okay here. It's not totally on it, but it will work. Let's make this maybe a little bigger. So let's get the frequency here divided by 2, and let's rotate this a little bit. Let's bring in the you don't note here. So we can rotate here the texture. No, no, this is the ribbon here. I think this one is the nope. This seems not to be that. Is it not? Good. So I go in texture mode. R for rotation. You see it, and I rotate it here. And go to somewhere like here. This could work. So let's go to see. This is here. Let's go to this. Has not to be that. What I wanted just for me to make to line it up here. This is not necessary, but okay. Wrong direction. Ding 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 ding. Okay, that should work. So that means now we have to rotate the big tube. And yeah, go to coordinates. This should be this guy here. Yep. Yeah, frame 0. Let's make a keyframe. Frame 200. Let's try it with minus V60 and play it. This is too slow, so let's go to 200 again and make minus 720. This should work now. And it works. Perfect. Yay! Great! Next step. We have to rotate this small guy here. Tube big, okay, tube small. Okay. First I just copy this, but because now I know here we have the cylindrical mapping and everything, so I just copy this one to here, and then we could use this. That looks not bad. Don't need it so small, so as less we have, as better it is. I think so. Let's go to tubes. Not just this, I want tubes. Good, and we have to rotate the small one now. Here I make fit to object as well, so fit to object. And rotate the small one in the B-axis, but this has to be much faster. So we go to frame 0, check. make a keyframe, and we know this is a fifth of this big one. So we take this 720 degrees. First we go to frame 200. We take this 720 degrees times 5. So because it's the fifth one, so it should rotate 5 times as fast. 3600 is a nice number. And let's rotate. And it works perfect. Everything works like it should work. We have a little hiccup in here, but this is no problem at all. This is because you see we start here, we have here a white rectangle or a right quarter, and here a black one. So we can fix this if we go to the ribbon guy here and give it here double the frequency, 13. So now we have a white here in this curve, and we have again a white in this curve. So now we shouldn't see any rotation problem. Let's go through. Yeah, it looks perfect. Save it. Now this, we don't need the textures anymore here, more than less. It's just NQ is hide texture, but this does not look like a toilet paper roll at all. So let's do something here. Let's play a little bit. We take the big tube and we copy it. So I go to this one and make it very small. First I delete the keyframes here because I don't need it here. We need it on other positions. So, and here you have 10, and I make the inner radius 9.9. Okay, we don't see nothing because this tube hides it. Go to this 4 in the inner radius and make the outer radius 4.1. Now I have these two guys here. Exactly what I want. And hide the ribbon for the moment. So we see how it. Let's make a little. I select both and make a little fillet here. Okay. Now, so we can hide the spline as well. Save this. Now I need a cloner and put both of them in the cloner. This was not so good idea because now I would have to bring the cloner again on the floor thing with on the floor level, but we do it differently. We make a little delete the cloner, and now I make the cloner again, but I select the tube first here, then Alt click on the cloner, and now you see it stays on this position where I want it. Good, both of them into, and we need linear is okay, but we don't want anything here, and we want to go to blend here. You see it does, and now if we go up here, 60. Good. But as I said, we have not so many objects in this scene, so we can go a little crazy. Okay, it still looks not really like I wanted. So good. I select my cloner, and now I take a random effector, and this should affect the position, which does. But not in the X, not in the Y, just in the Z, and here just a little bit, so 0.1. And this looks much more like a toilet paper roll. Ah, 0.5, 0.05. Yeah, that looks nice, nice, nice. So when I bring back my textures with NQ, you see that looks not really nice here. So let's go to our random effector and randomize the rotation as well here. 360. And now it's totally random, and so we want this. Okay, save it. And now we need inside a small tube here. So I copy this one, control drag it out here, name this tube inner. This is the NQ to hide this in there. And I want this is 4, so 4 should be the outer radius. And the inner radius, let's say 3.5 or something else. Ah, that's a little too much. 3.8 maybe. Yeah, this could be plausible. So okay, and then let's be a little 0.1 little. Okay. Maybe 0.1. That's too much. Okay. Save it. Now we have our toilet paper roll. And I think we can be quite satisfied with this. So everything should still work here, except we have now, instead of rotating the big tube here, we have to rotate the cloner. So go to the cloner here, and we know it was minus 720, so on frame 0 there's nothing. Frame 200, minus 720, and make a keyframe. So that should all work. And 1 second, there's someone on my door. Why? So, okay, let's continue. What did we have? Yeah, the inner roll, of course, has to run with it. So what I do for this is make the cloner apparent. We could bring everything in a null, but no, I make here the inner, right click, make a constraint tag, parent, and the parent should be my cloner here, and just the rotation. Let's see if this works. Kind of. Position as well. Okay. Now we have it. Save it. Next step. Oh, we are quite quick here. This part is done. Now we will do this. What's here? Yeah, this rail here, and this guy here, and the connection. Good. This rail should be quite easy here. If you don't, this would be enough for the animation I did with the toilet paper roll here. So this would be enough. Just put it on the floor and let it run. But we want to make more. So I need a rectangle here. T for scale, scale it down. What's going on here? Ah, I'm in the texture mode. So scale it down, so a little bigger than the roll itself. The roll is 20, let's make this. So we need, this is the correct one. 25 is maybe a little big. It's 22. Ah, 24. Okay. And I need this guy. I have to make this editable anyways, so I need it the top one in the height of this center here. No, this is the rail. The thing what I thought about is the connection. The rail is easier. The rail is very easy. 50 here. Bring it down here. So I hold my shift key, so I have the increments. Okay, nice. And then I copy this rectangle, rotate it 90 degrees. Make it here. This doesn't matter how much. It's 20. E, remove it and move it out a little bit, so something like here, and up a little bit, so like this maybe. Good, looks not bad so far. Maybe when we bring it far, no, this is too far. That's okay. Now I don't want it that high. Let's make it 10 is okay, and go up with it. So somewhere like here. Good. And now I want a symmetry object. Wink. Bring it inside here. Okay. The next object I need is a spline mask. Bring it down to here. Bring in the rectangle and the symmetry object. Okay. In the spline mask I go to viewport, render view, and to subtract. And I have the profile of my rail here. Okay. So easy it is. Let's go to here, and yeah, of course we have to extrude our spline. But I make a spline out of the spline mask, so current state to object, and I delete this one. So I don't need it. Let's bring extrude. This is in the wrong direction. Let's make it, I don't know, for now 500, and go down to 50 with the spline. Spline is in 0. Okay, let's go down to, in the x-axis, minus 250. That should work. Good so far. And I want round edges here. Of course, I could make in the spline the points, select the points and chamfer it, but I want to be more parametric, so I put my extrude in a null, Alt G, and under the null I want the bevel, so everything what is in this null will be, the bevel will work on everything in the null, and shift click on the bevel deformer. 3 here, and maybe 0.5 here. Okay, we have a nice rail here. Good so far. And yeah, of course, now it does not look like the ribbon sticks on the rail, but this we do later. So I'll show you how we can do this. Go to this one, put it on extrude. Like here. And if we make this, we have to move the extrude, or yeah, I want to move the, well, I moved the whole null here, because the null is on 0.0, that's perfect. And in the x-axis, of course. So how far have we to move it? We'll twice the circumference again. So this was, the circumference was here, the ribbon. This is twice the circumference. Copy it. So I go to my null object, this is the rail, save it, check, and I go to frame 200, paste this, enter, and let's see what it does. It runs in the wrong direction. 200, and let's go here to minus. Save it. And you see now it sticks on the thing. And then when we work with the camera movement as well, so it looks great then. This hiccup, you see, this is because I did not care about the texturing here now. Okay, this works. And NQ to hide everything. We are quite far. We need just a connection and a roll here down. And then the spring and the spring cover, and then we're done for today. But this is a little way. Good, let's bring in come on, grow shading. I don't want to see the texture here. NQ. I know it. So I take this tube inner here and drag it down to here. So a copy of it. I name not boss, just one. This I need just this one here. And control drag it down. Name this tube rail. Okay, and drag it down here. Just somewhere. I hold my shift key, so when I go 20 down, I'm exactly in the middle here. And make this tube a little bigger. So, and the outer radius. That looks fine. I'll give it 5. We can change this later to every time. So how big is this here? This is the small. Inner radius 0.8. Okay, let's give this 0.8 as well. Okay. And here we can it looks like a nice thing. Maybe 3. Okay, save it. Now it looks to the side, and I don't want to go that the whole tube goes through the rail here. So I want that it stops here. Yeah, nothing easier than this. So let's go to our tube rail and make it smaller. So about maybe this here, so let's see, 6 height, and drag it to the side here. That could work. Let's see, something like this, or Z-axis -8. Where is it? Here. How does this look? -8. -8 could work. Save it. We don't have to make the other side, because then later we drop everything in a symmetry object and the other side is done. Good. Next step. We need connection between this one and this one. So that means let's go here to lines is okay, but I do see. Let's hide the ribbon for a moment. I don't see a lot here. Why is it like this? We have a lot of segments, but it's okay. I need spline. T for scale. Scale it down. So one part should be the down part should be in the middle of this roll, and the other one should be in the middle of this roll here. So let's see how we can do this. We definitely have to make this guy editable later, but for now, let's see. 20, 20. 20 is exactly in the middle here. This is perfect. But we have to go outside of this rail, of course. So make it 30 is maybe, but yeah, we can change this later. Shouldn't be a problem. And now I need the height of this guy here. So how can I do this? The tube inner is in the Y10, so I make this guy editable now. So this rectangle C on the keyboard, and as I said at the beginning, it could easily be that we run into some issues here, but because I did this twice now, and every time I had some problems. So. But it would be boring without problems, if you ask me. Alright, 0 is here, and I need this height here exactly. How could I find this height? Go to this, take a null object, make the null a child of the tube small, and reset PSR. So the null is exactly in the middle here now. That means when I cannot bring the nulls in here. Why do I don't see this? The null is at height. I'm on the point mode. That's the reason. The null is on this. I copy this. Go back to here, point mode, and copy this again. So now I'm exactly in the height of this null. So I don't need the null. I need the null as well, because I don't want only the height, I want the x-axis as well. So go to the null again and copy the x-axis. Go to the point mode here, copy the x-axis. And now I am exactly where I want to be. Good, I can delete this null here. This was just to help us. Save it. So, next step. What I need is now to move this. This will be a spline, a sweep later on. And when I move this should move with it. So what I need is a handle on each of the points of the spline. So a null object on each of the edges. Good, how can we do this? For this there is a thing called IK spline. So that we will use this guy. So I go to my spline, go to my rectangle, right click, rigging text, IK spline. The IK spline needs, of course, the spline. This is my rectangle here. Now I need handles. I need 4. We have 4 edges. I need 4 handles. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the end. And now I want the null objects, so I create them here. 4 null objects. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to my tag here, and it needs an end here, and the end is mostly the null object here, the null. Okay. Now when I click on here and go to my object, make sphere here, you will see that we have on each edge a null object. It's exactly what we want, what we need. Bring it down here. So I want to name this guy. So I want, which one is this? This is the downside here. So this is the lower 2. At the front I name 1, and so this is the lower null 2, so that I have a little more. This is the lower 1, null 1, save it. This is the upper one, and then this must be the upper 2. Save it. So let's make it upper 1 and lower 1 together, so, and upper 2 and lower 2 together. So okay, so far so good. And I only need to work with these two nulls, this one and this one. So this is the lower one and the upper one. I will give them different colors so we see it better later. So go to here, on, and give it a, let's give this one a red color here, and I wanna have the icon settings as well a red color. You see, now we have this, and the lower one we give, let's say, a green color. So display color on green. Okay, and go to the icon settings, display color. Okay, nice. So now we see exactly where we have something, and that's good so far. Now let's make a sweep here for our thing. This is the rectangle. Let's make a small sweep. That's okay. We need a circle with quite small, so 0.2 or something else. We will see it. Take the circle, bring it above the rectangle, and with the circle selected, I hold my Alt key, click on sweep here, and bring it to the rectangle. We now have this one here. Make it a little bigger, so 0.5. Oh, that's too big. Because don't forget we have to bring a spring around, and the spring cover here. I name it spring cover. This should work. Okay. Save it. But we don't want this so harsh here. This edges. Let's bring our sweep in a subdivision surface. And this is definitely not what we want. Go to our rectangle here, and instead of adaptive, we go here to subdivide it. And as higher this number of the maximum length, as rounder this should be. Let's see. Let's go to 1 to see it. Oops, 1. Yeah, that looks nice. Ah, this is okay for me. Save. And now, the next step. I make this cover for the spring now. So this has to be on this place here and point upwards to this guy here. Okay. For this we need a null, another null. So this is the let's name it spring cover, and bring this on our lower one and reset PSR so that it's exactly in the same place like this one. Okay. Now we need a cylinder. This can be a little complicated. It seemed to be a little complicated, but I try to do it as slow as possible, and as 0.5 should be fine here. We don't need the height of this, so 5 maybe, and 50 here. So this cylinder is somewhere here, but we need it in our null here, and with reset PSR. So I go to here, bring the cylinder inside, and again reset PSR. See, okay, we are here. What I want now is I want to move the cylinder in the y-axis here, simply up a little bit, so that imagine that it's here, so in this direction. We don't need caps here. Save it. Now what we need is a constraint tag here for the cylinder. For the null object, not for the cylinder. The null object should be a constraint to this null object, to this null object, to the lower one. And the spring cover, the null should aim in this direction, so that the cylinder aims always in this direction. Good. Let's do this. Spring cover, right click, and give it a constraint tag. First we start with the parent. So parent, and the parent will be the green null here. So okay, we need just a position, not a rotation. And then we need an aiming. We aim to the red null here. Point. Good. It did nothing so far. It should do something. Okay. You see, and now let's make a null for our lower 1 and 2. Yeah, I have this to put this in a null here. Good, so I make another null. Lower nulls. Bring it down here. First I want to make this again, reset PSR, that it's exactly on this place. But I don't want this in this place, I want this on the Z axis 0. So, and I bring this 0 as well. Now we have it on this height of this null and in the 0 of the scene, in the Z axis. And I drag in the lower 1 and lower 2 in this guy. So that means when I move these guys, you see the cover, the spring cover, moves totally with it. It aims in the correct direction, it stays on the correct place down, and this is exactly what we need. Okay, this is the role, we will do this later. So maybe we give the cylinder, bring the cylinder a little down here, so something like that. And maybe make it a little, give it 1 centimeter more or something else. 6. Bring it up here. So. Ah, that looks okay. Save. And now we need a spring which points from here downwards to this null here. Good, let's do this. So we don't need this lower null, so we don't need an upper nulls because we don't move this here, so we move just this here. So what we could do, because we move this, this is to move, and I will put it so that I find it quickly in the layer. This is not a color to find it quickly. Make this green as well. Okay. So we can simply drag our rail tube here in here. I thought we can drag it simply in here. This has a constraint to where? Parent to the cloner. Ah, of course, this is we copied this one. That's the reason that the constraint is here. So don't need the constraint. We need the constraint just we copied this tube inner. That was the reason we had this. So that means now when I bring this inside, that works. And when I move this guy, of course the roll goes with it. Save it. Next thing, let's do this spring. For the spring, of course, we need a helix. The helix should stay on the floor, boing, and let's make it 2 by 2 and a height of maybe 7. Let's bring it down to here so we see something. 2 by 2 is far too big, so imagine we have to go to here. So 0.5, 0.5, and here times 10. It's still far too big. That looks more like I want it. It's like maybe a little high, so 26. Okay, save this. Now I want to bring this on this null here. That means first I make a null for the helix. Same like the spring cover, we make now something for the spring. Null, this is the spring. Without. So. And the spring first I have to reset the PSR to this red guy here. So I bring it under it, reset PSR and bring it out. So yeah, exactly on this place here. Bring our helix inside and reset PSR with the helix. Good. Save it. Now we have to constrain the spring. Correct. So we make another constraint tag. We could copy this one, but then we have to, it's easier like this. We start again with the parent. The parent is this red null, so okay, just the position, no rotation. And then we need the aim. And we aim it to the green null. Boing. And if we go to plus y, it should have worked. Let's make this a little bigger. 3.3. Yep. Make it 0.4. 0.4. And bring the helix a little down here. That is not so something like that. And this helix should now again work with the moving. So if I move this here, everything works great here. Look at this. That's simply perfect. I really wonder how the Arben Vllasaliu did this, but he does not answer any questions on the commands and so yeah, it's a pity, but what chance. Good. We need the helix higher, so that it goes into here, and make a sweep out of it. Save it. Make a small sphere, small circle. 0.1 for now, and bring it in the spring. Select my circle, right click on sweep, bring the helix in the sweep, and we have something like this. And I want twice the rotations here, so times 2. Looks a little weird, but if we go up with the subdivisions, let's say 200, it looks perfect. It's maybe a little. Here it works, but it's a little too thick. Let's go to the point. 0.5, no, 0.8 maybe. Okay, now I can make it a little smaller here. 3. Okay. Yeah, that looks better for me. No, it's into it here. Simply let's make the sweep here. Let's bring the sweep here a little smaller. Let's go to 0.2 here. Okay. And now we can make here a little thickness on the cylinder here, the spring cover. Again, I use here my pie extruder. Alt click on it and this is -0.1 maybe, and we have a little thickness here. Save it. Because we are here in a null, we can easily use a bevel deformer on it. So I select my spring, shift click on bevel deformer. This is far too big. 0.05 and maybe 3 subdivisions. 0.02. Yeah, we get it there. Save it. Looks great. So this movement should move again. Okay, now we have to see how we can change the height of the spring. So if we go further down, the spring stays here. So save it. This we do with a little espresso. We have to know the distance between this null and this null, and then we can give the height from this distance to this distance to the height of the spring, and maybe subtract some centimeters so that it's not too long. Good. Save it. And let's go to our helix here, because we want to work on the helix, make the expressor deck on it here. This is a programming deck, express, and don't be afraid, this is nothing hard. So, good. I need my helix here. Of course, this is the height of the helix. So I go to my helix. This is not the helix, this is the helix. And height, and drag it on the blue corner here, because this is the result later on. So then what I need the distance between these two nulls. So I need a distance node. Distance. So we have two inputs. And of course we need the red null and the green null. Why is this upper here? Yeah, it's okay. So we need this upper here and the green guy. Good. I don't want to search here for all the connectivities. It's easier if you go from the other side. If you go from this input to here, drag the connection to here, you see it gets green. And now I only have these possibilities to use what I can use. So all what's impossible is grayed out. So I need the coordinates and the global position here. Same on the other one. The coordinates and the global position. If you hold your control key and double click on the node, it will fit to the size. So save it. And now I want to see like a result node, just to want to see if this could be true what I see here. So I take the result node and the output in here, and this should be 15 centimeters. So this could be, because I said we have here 6 or 7 centimeters first, and then this 15. This could easy be. So and if we drag this to the height of the helix, let's hide the spring cover. You see, of course, it's too long, because we went down here a little bit, and this little bit is over this now. But you can simply here subtract some centimeter. So let's do this. Take a math node. It's called math add, but you can use it for everything. We put in the math here, and in the math node we go to subtract. And here we can put in, let's say we subtract 3 centimeters. 3. And now we go to the height, and whoop. Perfect. And this means now, let's go a little, let's go 4 centimeter here. We have more spiral thing. Let's bring in the spring cover, so we can make it even more. Let's go 5. Okay. And now if we move our whole thing here, the spiral should change the height. You see, it really works like a spring would work. So that's perfect. Save it. So for now we have just do one thing more, one little expressor more for today. We want that this guy rolls here as well. At the moment it just slides along, so let's do in Q. Because when I go now to here, and you see it just slides along. This is not what we want. And we want here smaller so that it fits to this. So go to the small tube and Alt. Looks good. We have 0.3, so let's go to the rail tube. This is here. And 3. So we have now the same here. Okay, it works. So we need this rail tube that it rotates when we move this lower null here. And it should rotate in the correct speed. This has again something to do with this circumference, blah blah blah. I make this expressor now, but I don't explain it so close. I have already done this in a tutorial for this. I'll show you what I mean. And there I explain it closer, so if you are interested in this, how it really works. The same start. Go to my channel and search for the puppy tutorial. Puppy. And here, in the third part here, this is the part where we say let it
direction
roll.
We have
and
to
here I
rotate
explain everything closer, so you will understand it, hopefully. Okay, but let's do this now. So I need here an expressor. The expressor tags you can put wherever you want. It does not matter where they are. But it's logically if you use it there where you need it, or for what you need it. So let's make an expressor. You can even, if you don't want to right click and search for it, and then Shift C is the command line, and here you can find everything. If you don't know where the reset PSR is, here type in reset PSR and you will find it. Enter, you have it. So the same here, when I get expressor, you see we have expressor now here. I just hit enter and I have my expressor tag here now, and expressor opens. Perfect. What we need is the circumference thing. So we need twice the radius of this guy times b. So then bring in the radius. We have here 5. If we want to change the radius later on or something else, I could do this with this rail and put it in, but I don't want to change anything here, so I can use the numbers here. I can use constant numbers. And I know here outer radius 5. Then the diameter is 10, of course, and 10 times b. This we should know. But anyway, I'd make it with a math node, because then it calculates not with 314, so with 3.142. So anyway, math node. Okay. Here now I could put in the, or I do it so that you can change the radius as well. So I take this tube here. I need the radius of the tube, so I go to the tube here, outer radius, and drag it in here. Good. Input in the math. But I need not an add, I need multiply. I want this, and now I need the diameter is times 2, so multiply 2, and I need another input here. And this next input is P. Write in P. Whoops. Okay, that's it. We have the diameter. This is our diameter now. The next step is we need, of course, at the end we need this because we have to rotate this guy here. At the end we want to rotate this here. So this should be our result. Now we do need a range mapper which converts from radians to degrees. So range mapper input. I want the range mapper. This I used to define this radians. This is the what works cinema here, and I want out degrees. So this is okay. 1 radian 360 degrees. Perfect. Then we need this should not be here. So we need an input upper. As I said, it's explained in the other tutorial, and this one is an input upper here. And now I need the x-axis of this guy here, because we move in the x. So bring this to here and bring this to here. This is it, and when we put this, the rotation here, and now let's see what's happened. When we go to the move, boom, 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 and it rotates exactly with the correct speed and with everything. Okay. Whew, we did it for the first part. I think it's enough for the first part now, because normally when we do simple things like texturing or modeling a little bit or something else, but here we have to think a lot and so on. I think it's enough for the first part here. It's a little over an hour now, and we have enough to think about. In the next one, in the next part, we then texture this whole thing, of course, and we will make this animation here that the roll rolls forward and then slowly comes back and again rolls forward, slowly comes back, and then we make the camera movement, yeah, and the texturing. So I think the next part will be another hour, and then we have everything. Yeah, I know normally I do 2-hour tutorials, but yeah, here it's a lot to think about, and yeah, okay. So let's stop here. Let's see if everything works last time. So if we go to here, that looks great. Bring in our ribbon here. Where is our ribbon? You see it sticks on here, so the movement should work here. And then we do it like it runs, and then it comes through. But here it should not roll. When it comes back, it should not roll. It should just slide here. So we will do this with a keyframe. But when it comes back, we disable the expressor here so that it does not roll. And so we have to do enough in the second part as well. Good. I hope you like this one so far. Make this so the ribbon green here so that looks a little better for the eyes. No, that's okay. Okay. Yep. That should be. Now when I do this green, everything gets green again. Okay. So yeah, next tutorial I will see. I will make it. I will record it tomorrow. And yeah, if something comes in between, so sorry, but at the moment, you know, the times are a little weird, and yeah, and of course because everyone is at home, and of course my family is at home too, and so I have to I have more social life now, but only the family, of course. Okay, so I hope you will stay healthy. I hope you will be with me tomorrow again. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have questions or something else, just ask, write in the comments or on my Facebook site or on our Facebook group or wherever you want. The project file for this one, I think I will update the project file when the tutorial is done, so it's better, I think, because you do not really need the project file here because everything is explained. We don't have nice textures or something else which you could get with the project file. So it's not really, you can download, patrons can download the project file of my thing here. Where is it now? My toilet paper roll. This project file here is already on Patreon. Yep. Okay. So here you have nice textures and everything. But the toilet paper texture, this was a little hard to do, but it's possible. Good. That's it for now. I wish you all the best. Have a nice evening or wherever you are. And see you hopefully tomorrow or latest day after tomorrow. Latest on weekend, let's say weekend. But I'm quite sure that I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Now, best reach out, all the best wishes, and please stay healthy, be careful, and ja, so tschüss und baba.